Hey guys, what's up? It's Tommy Mo again. Welcome back to Tommy Mo TV. I am out here eating. It is my third video. Welcome back, guys. Here to have some nice juicy fish and chips. It is gonna be delicious. So sit back and enjoy my show.
Funny, dude.
Into this juicy talk about how to get into a prestigious college from a community college. So you are a student who was at a community college. Maybe you didn't do so well, you didn't perform great in high school, maybe you wanted to save money, or you're an older student, whatever reason you decided to go to community college. Now you are a community college student, you want to get into a prestigious college. So you're thinking to yourself, well, do I have a chance? Can I get into prestigious college? Yes, you most definitely can. And today I'm going to go over some of the principles and ways you can get yourself into a prestigious college just like I did. Alright, so step number one is you want to make sure that you can maintain good grades. You want to be able to maintain at least a 3.5 GPA or higher to a 4.0. That's usually a benchmark. A 3.5 GPA is usually a benchmark for competitive schools that usually have like a 30% acceptance rate or lower. So that's something you really want to keep in mind to yourself. And now that you think to yourself, wow, that's really hard. How do I maintain a 3.5 GPA or higher taking college courses? Well, it's easier said than done, correct? All right, so some ways you can do that is you can spread your classes out. Instead of taking multiple classes, instead of taking 5 class semester, you only take, let's say, 4 classes a semester, or even just 3 classes a semester. So that way, you can spread out your classes, or you take less classes and do better and perform better in those classes versus taking more classes and not performing so well. So instead of, let's say getting mostly A's, you're getting A's, B's along with some C's because you took more course load than you could and didn't perform your best. So that is one way you can do that. For me personally, that's how I got into my prestigious college. I was admitted to 2 prestigious colleges, and no, they were not Harvard, MIT, or Stanford, unfortunately. I know, that's too bad. But they were Northeastern and Boston University. These were the 2 prestigious schools that I was accepted into. Unfortunately, I am not attending those 2 universities, only due to cost, because I only got a $3,000 PTK scholarship from each school, and that was it, only along with another $7,000 worth of financial aid, so it only brought down to $65,000 versus $75,000, and so unfortunately, I am intense. But however, I've decided I'm going to attend Wentworth Institute of Technology, which is a great alternative for what I want to do, and it has the exact program I want. So there's my bonus right there. All right, so what you want to do is, like I said, take fewer classes so you can perform better, and that is fine. If you didn't want to take 3 years instead of 2 years at community college, that's totally fine, or even 4 years. I asked them, and they honestly don't care at all. They really don't. So that was good news on my part. So even if you just want to take 2 classes a semester, you can do that every now and again too. They really don't care at all. They don't care. When I first started community college, I only took 1 class, and they were okay with that. They don't care as long as if you don't spend more than 5 years at a community college, you're fine. They don't care whether it takes you 2 years, 3 years, or even 4 years, like me. And I was able to get into these 2 schools. So if you decide to take that long, you can definitely still get in, no question about it. It does not decrease your chances, doesn't make any less competitive of an applicant. You just go at your own pace. Everyone works at their own pace, and that's totally fine. All right, so that's how you can maintain better grades easier. Now, I want to talk about classes. So depending on what your major is, you want to take the hardest classes possible for your major that the community college offers. So for me personally, I'm a computer science major. Calc, I'm only required to take up to Calc 2. But it's even better if you can take Calc 3 and differential equations. Luckily, my school offers that. So if you are someone who is not an engineering major, you are a STEM major, I strongly recommend that you take those classes. It makes you a far more competitive applicant, and it looks great on your transcript. And also, if your college offers it, which mine does, I didn't take it, but if you are let's say someone who's like a biology major, if your school offers, let's say, organic chemistry 1 and 2, take both of them. It will help you a lot. I promise you that it will pay off. If you do well in those classes, even if you just get a B or a B plus, it's excellent. That's still really impressive to them. So they'll be very happy with that. And that will put you far more ahead of the other students who didn't take those classes than you did. That makes you a more competitive applicant and more likely to gain admission than them. Now, can you still get rejected? Absolutely. There are many students with 4.0s who applied to these 2 schools and many other schools that still get rejected, and they had strong extracurriculars and strong grades and everything, but for some reason they just didn't get in. And sometimes it's just life, and I know it sucks, but that's sometimes we just have to deal with, right? All right, so anyway, now tip number 3 now. Excuse me, let me get back to what I was saying before we get tip number 3. I want to say also, if you are a social science major, you want to take harder level classes if possible, so you don't have to go as extreme. But let's say that you're only required to take up to, let's say, pre-calc. Take Calc 1, I would recommend it, or even up to Calc 2. And for your 2 science electives, I would recommend taking harder classes. Let's say I'd recommend either taking Bio 1 and Bio 2, Chemistry 1 or Chemistry 2, or Physics 1, Physics 2. Actually, excuse me, I would recommend taking either Chem 1 and Chem 2 or Physics 1 and Physics 2. Those are the 2 hardest. Those are actually harder than biology, so I'd recommend that you take one of those 2 for a science elective. For 2 science electives, it will help you a lot. The other students who just take the easy one out, like just like a genetics class or a nutrition class, which my school offered. But anyway, now let's get into tip number 3, is extracurriculars. So you want to now extracurriculars. So you want to try to be as many involved as many as extracurriculars as you can. However, with that being said, it is better to have quality over quantity versus saying you're involved in multiple extracurricular activities when you did only 1 or 2 things in them. It doesn't look that great in your transcript if you didn't really participate in much of that stuff. You just wrote all these things that you were involved in when you really didn't do much in them at all. You want to find 1, 2 things at most that you really, really committed to. Like for me, a big help for me personally was Student Senate. I strongly recommend you do it. It helps pay off a lot. They have great leadership roles, such as, we fed the homeless. If your school offers something like that, Student Center, and you have an opportunity to do something like that off campus, or some sort of very impressive voluntary work, I strongly recommend you do it. One of them was me going over and feeding the homeless at the homeless shelter down the street from my school, and I put my application. It helped me a lot. So if your school offers something like that, though, I would strongly recommend you join Student Senate. It's one of the best, if not the best extracurriculars that community colleges offer, and also many other school colleges, but I'm talking particularly community colleges. It will help you a lot as far as trying to get into prestigious colleges when it comes to extracurriculars. Still, make sure you put grades before extracurriculars. Make sure that grades always come first, hands down, no question about it. Always make sure you have good grades. But however, just make sure you put some time in extracurricular activities. Make sure you show that you're still really committed to an extracurricular activity. Also, another thing that I would recommend is also, if you can't participate, great. If you can't, that's fine. But I would strongly recommend becoming a PTK member, because that will help make you a more competitive applicant, because that is an honors extracurricular activity that you can join and become member of. You become member of the Community College Honor Society. It's called Pi Theta Kappa, PTK. And you can also get scholarship money as well from them. You can get up to up to $5 or $6 grand a year in scholarship money. So anywhere from like $1,500 to like $5-6 grand a year. So that's really good. So if you can join that, that will also help you become a much more competitive applicant. But anyway, I will talk to you guys in my next video. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. My Instagram name is Tommy Malios. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video in part 2 on how to get into prestigious college. I'm going to talk about letters of recommendation on how to get into a prestigious college if you failed a class at a community college. What do I do next? So I'll get that into you in part 2. Like I said, see you next video. Peace out.